Okay guys, for today we are going to pick up right where we left off from last time. Last time we were talking about estimating square roots. So today we're going to go through and we're going to simplify them. Now obviously some of these you don't have to simplify. If you did these on your worksheet, you would have already seen that. So the square root of 64 is just 8. Leave it like that. There's nothing to simplify there. But what I do want to do is go through the whole process of simplifying. The reason I'm picking up where we left off last time also is that you need this list of square numbers, or numbers that you can take the square root of here. The numbers inside the radical, the square root symbol, those are the square numbers, and their roots are like 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8 that you can see right there. So anyway, the way that you go about simplifying a radical or simplifying a square root, let's start with number 8 here, is you want to find the largest square number that can go into it. So 18 is not a square number, so you want to find the largest square number that can divide into it, or basically the biggest factor of 18 that you can take the square root of. So you want to look at your list. So the first thing we do is go look at our list and see which numbers we think, which number or numbers we think can go into 18. The place I always start on the list is always going to be at exactly half of the number, because that's the only half of 18 will be the largest number that you can possibly divide into 18. So what is half of 18? It's 9. So we're going to go look and see, is 9 on our list? And yes, it is. 9 is on our list. The square root of 9 is 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that 18 and we're going to break it into the square root of 9 times 2. So 9 times 2 is 18. So that's our new look at 18. Now, I don't have time to go into all the reasons why, but basically because of the exponent rules, you're allowed to then take this square root of 9 times 2 and split it into the square root of 9 times the square root of 2. Now that gives you a number you can easily take the square root of. You can take the square root of 9, which is 3. So we'll get 3 root 2. And that is what our simplified answer is. 3 times the square root of 2, also said 3 root 2. Okay, we're going to take a look at a couple more of these because I don't expect anybody to get it right off the bat. But that's the process there. Let's go down to number 12 here, square root of 108. Now, the process here is that I'm going to first cut 108 in half and see if that's on my list. Half of 108 is 54, and 54 is not on my list. 54 would end up somewhere right here in between 49 and 63, so somewhere in between here. 49 and 64. So we're going to work our way up the list now towards the smaller numbers. And so 54 isn't on the list, so I'm going to check with 49. Could 49 go into 108 without a remainder? No. So that's not going to be it. So next you're going to say, well, what about 36? Could 36 go into 108 without a remainder? And you might not know that right off the bat, so you feel like, looks like maybe it could. And if it did, how many times do you think? Well, maybe it would go in 3 times. Let's check and see. So what you can do is go, okay, well, I'm going to see if 36 would go in 3 times. So if I do 36 times 3, old school here, you get 18, 1, 108. Look at that. It does go into 108. So we're going to break 108 into, let me move this over here, the square root of 36 times 3. And just like we did up above on the other one, we can now break that into the square root of 36 times the square root of 3. And the square root of 36 is 6, so the answer to this one is 6 times the square root of 3. So there you go. That's how you simplify that one. Let's pick another one. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to skip a step this time. So if you look at this step here, it's kind of an unnecessary step. If you know that the square root of 36 is 6 and that it's going to come out of the square root, you can pretty much just skip from here to here. And that's what we're trying to do on this next one. All right, let's go with 72. Square root of 72 is a good one, number 18. On this one, some people might jump to a conclusion and go, oh, I know a square number that goes in there. 9 goes into 72. Well, yes, it does. But again, you want to always look for the largest square number that can go into it. And so let's start with half of 72. What is half of 72? 36. So we're going to look, is 36 on our list? And well, yeah, it is. We just used that one, right? So the square root of 36. So we're going to break this one into the square root of 36 times 2. And so now, like I said, we're going to skip that step. Take the square root of the number that you can there. The square root of 36 is 6. So it comes out of the radical, and there's your answer. 6 times the square root of 2, or 6 root 2. I think that's probably got to be good enough to get you guys going there. I could maybe do one more. How about let's do number 15. Okay, so for number 15, that's kind of the biggest one on this worksheet here, and so the first thing you want to do is cut that in half, or about in half, because it's not going to cut perfectly in half here. And then start on our list from there. So 175 is about 180. So if we cut 180 in half, that's about 90. So we're going to start there on our list, looking through to see. So 90, or really it's going to be less than 90. We're looking at like 87.5, but that's going to be right here between 100 and 81. So it's not on our list. 81. Could 81 go into the 15? Probably not. 81 times 2 is 162, so that we couldn't get a third 81 in there. 64 is probably not going to happen. Even numbers will never go into odd numbers without a remainder, so we can skip 64. If we look at 49, 49 times 3, that's 147, so we're not going to get to 175. 36, once again, an even number cannot go into an odd number. And then if we look at 25, 25 can go into there. Whenever I think of the number 25, I think of quarters. So that would be 7 quarters would be $1.75. So for me, when I do this one here, I'm going to change colors. Okay. This is going to be 25 times 7. And then again, the one you can take the square root of is 25. Square root of 25 is 5. 5 root 7, or 5 times the square root of 7. Okay, that's it. That's how you simplify square root numbers. Again, email or ask questions during Zoom.